But I think that this is what JDG might be setting up for with the early pick, as Kalista is now going to be forced to be banned out too, as the 3 most powerful picks, what a lot of people are taking away on red
Alex
side.
meme is coming alive. Alex meme is happening. I don't know if we could get it on screen.
It's Sejuani time.
I don't know if we could get Alex tweet on screen, but it was a banger and a half.
The one tricks are gone. It's Sejuani time.
You know? Go to the Sejuani. It's what's left open. It's something that has been banned away so far in this series, but because the misfortune ended up joining the ban table, that is the first pick for Shun, trying to find stability of that jungle role because something needs to be stable for JDG.
Potential for that Sejuani to be quite stable as the blind Camille comes out. Only things that you see later on in Fearless. But hey, no Jax, no Renekton on the board, no Poppy on the board either. So a lot of tools that you could use to take care of Camille now going to be off the table.
True.
You have that point and click with the lockdown with the Hextech Ultimatum, and now you get that Super Mega Infernal Bomb over the top too from Hope.
I think also when we were talking about Flandre earlier, that kind of target selection nature of him, that's going to be very nice to have on the Camille. There is the Rakan.
They got missing his
Rakan. Everything
okay.
you wanted, all right?
He got his best champion, guys. Missing might be good this game. We'll see.
Look at the smile. He knows. He knows. He knows.
You have the option to drop support if you're crazy, and that would involve a Blitzcrank game. But I think you just take the Rel here if you are anyone's legend. Unless you want to really drop support.
Left.
Because you just can't pair Enchantresses with the Ziggs. But you could really switch things up here. Keep in mind that Ziggs, we haven't really seen it played mid in the LPL, but it is technically a flex. We expect this to be the Shanks Tristana and the Hope Ziggs. But this is a demolition duo. I mean, we shred turrets if you're anyone's legend so far.
They got side lane pressure already. They have destroying turrets. That's the thing. That's what I keep coming back to with this Anyone Legends team. They know what they want. They draft so efficiently. They have tried and true strategies that they're working towards in these drafts, where sometimes for JDG it feels a little bit lost and wandering. But we'll see this time around if they can tie things together with that Zeri pick as well, needing some support in the damage profile.
I will say, we just haven't highlighted this one yet. Chance for Camille to be flexed at support, so maybe that's why we didn't see something like a Rel locked in there. That said, Silas being taken away pairs very well with the Sejuani. Maybe an Akali ban here too, as just something else to deny from Scout. Another melee that would synergize well. Instead, going to take away the Aurora. So Scout's Akali could be something that we see in this draft. Curious if anyone's legend decides to take more control into it. Option for a tank, it's there. It's always nice against Akali, but then you're picking a tank into this area and kind of allowing her to ramp up throughout a fight.
Wondering now if you continue to go towards Tarzan pool and try to take away some of the glue. That's a good ban. That is a really good ban.
They didn't take the Rel though. I think you have to ban Rel.
Tough. But the Zac from Tarzan was literally game breaking in Demacia Cup.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's something where even if you miss the elastic slingshot, you can still try and find engage onto the Zeri. But you were already going to pick Akali, which plays around Zac really well. I just think that letting the Rel go through here is a big mistake. I don't agree with that one at all.
They get the Wukong. They go ahead and get the Wukong for Shun. So it's going to be potentially some flexibility. Maybe go into Shun, maybe go into Ala.
I think it's Wukong top. You play that in the Camille.
I like it. I think it's good. Also, Ala.
You can interrupt the hook shots.
Gonna have a lot of impact in the team fights as well. See what Hale want to go with their last pick. This was counter pick for them. See if they want to go with anything a little spicy. It's the Shen locked in again. All right, we gotta see where we're going here.
But it's Jungle Shen.
Is it the Jungle Shen?
Yeah.
It's River Shen. It makes it back from all the way from like 2016. We're back. We're so back.
So Wukong gets a lot of value this game. I think Wukong, like, your ability to tank bust and be big, Wukong has the potential to be really big this game. So I like this draft a lot better for JDG compared to some of the past ones. The one issue is that Akali, you have to get through a Shen ult now if you're going to execute one person. So I think that really does nerf the value of Akali. Tarzan Shen pick. And interesting how it can warp the sudden.
I mean, that's what I'm seeing here. If he has good mechanical skill in this and has good movements in team fight, like he can wipe the floor with AL.
But like playing into a Kael now in side lane because you have a Shen on your team is definitely an option. So the 1-3-1 just got a lot better for anyone's legend with the Shen pick. It's actually kind of playable now, where I didn't think it was very playable beforehand. So we'll see.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It is JDG's upper bracket hopes on the line. Literally. Hope on the other side. All the track record between him and JDG and the failures that were all these years later being the one in multiple games to deal that defying blow. AL 1 game away from the first ever Grand Finals appearance between their org and Rogue Warriors, and it is going to be JDG with a need to win 2 games back to back in this one.
It'll be tough, of course, if they do win this game. We have a 1v1 for side select in game 5. Quite fun.
We do indeed. See how loud the crowd is getting into game 4. We're getting into it. AL crowd definitely out in force here, missing. Oh, he gets stopped. He has to burn the flash. That is tragic for the hopes of JDG. Not over, but tragic.
Every time missing's been on my screen, I just feel like a disaster is happening. You know? Been tough.
Happens, I guess.
Been really tough for missing.
Well, hey, it wasn't first blood. It's just a flash. We'll see if it gets revisited too. We have the Shen jungle for the first time in 4,237 days since 2013.
Dude.
From way off on LMQ, do we have a Shen jungle? Tarzan breaking the mold.
I mean, Shen jungle's been a thing in between that a few times. Apparently LPL is just like, you know what? This pick doesn't do boom boom damage. We're out. So I guess the pick was a little bit ignored, but hey, that's okay.
But now it does do boom boom damage.
Yeah, it does have the Hellblade, so we'll be bursty at the moment, though. We have the 3-wave setup being played here by anyone's legend as Flandre can try and sneak in to get some of the melee XP. Did at least get 1. Looks like that is about it, though. Whereas, of course, Awa went for the leech, so is sharing XP in mid.
Now we have to see...
No way.
Oh, no, don't do it. Don't auto attack it. Don't do it. Kael's going to steal it from him. Okay, he's not. Maybe he walks back.
I mean, Ala's coming.
I think Kael maybe just cooked himself there for that one. Hope is on his way. He has that crash down to get out of there. So Ala will come towards top side. And speaking of some history, 4,000 days is a lot. You know, 1,000 is as well. Over 1,000 days since a Wukong top has been played, and that was ZS on Ultra Prime.
Oh, this Wukong is actually going to get access to a lot. Between splitting the XP in mid early and then being able to take all this. Actually not a bad setup whatsoever for the Wukong. Flandre, meanwhile, is being relatively healthy in the bot lane. And Rakan did leave that, so...
Oh my god, Scout. He's just getting gapped. One more auto. No! Shanks! He auto-attacked the turret. Oh, no. That is a feels bad, man. The crowd is going nuts.
Oh, not like this, Shanks. Oh, you've been so good today, Shanks. That was unfortunately not so good. But attempt was made. Flashes are down for each of our mid laners. So opportunity for each jungler to visit. That is advantage, says Juani for sure. He did. That is advantage, says Juani for sure. It's going to be much easier for Sej to impact that mid lane. As we do have Missing making his way up towards the top lane. Oh, not again. I don't want to watch this again.
I want directed cam. I want slow-mo. I want 0.25 speed. I want to see this in real time.
He has the bone plating. He got Lethal Temple off because he weaves it
into autos during the He literally had it.
Oh, he 100% has this. But, I mean, the one option that you can have, the guarantee, the fact that doesn't connect, You can turn on the player option setting, and yeah, you have one person in the stands laughing at that, then the other one like hand behind his head, like what just happened? And that's the play that I make at home, not what these guys are supposed to make.
True. But maybe that's a little microcosm into this conversation between these two mid laners, because the juxtaposition of Scout's legacy and him rebuilding himself on JDG after failures on LNG, that's all good and well, but this guy is a world championship. This guy is a multi-time LPL championship. Like, the fact that Shanks has been building up to this, was a WE developmental prospect, and now coming over to AL and really finding his ground. He has been taking names this split, and it's been some of the best in the business that he's been putting down.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's been massive. There's been no question about that when it comes to Shanks. But I don't care who you are. That's a roughie right there. That is free gold escaping, because we did not right click well. But you know what? A lot of time to make up for that in the rest of the game. Kind of like how Missing still has time in the series to make up for what's been missing series so far, and he is on his best champion in Rakan in this. So hopefully we can see something from Missing. Because at the moment we are seeing Peyz be forced out. Missing did walk to try and impact the mid lane. We are 30 seconds before Grubs. I think important to note that Hope did already burn that TP. So any HP that he's taken in terms of damage, he's stuck with no more pots and no TP. That's a decent chunk they have onto the Ziggs already, so not bad.
A little bit of standoffishness between these two, but now we have the Grubs coming up, and both teams have been putting a heavy reliance on this first fight.
Flandre is here. This is not going to be expected here for JDG. If Shun starts this up, ability for Camille to re-engage, but Flandre is dropping the wave bot for this. So if they don't make a play fast, and they're going to lose a wave and a half, a wave and change of resources in the bot side for making this play.
Okay, I wonder if we actually see a contest. Kael playing pretty aggressively on this top side, but it's going to be the wave push going in from JDG and moving down towards these Grubs. AL have already taken a couple. See if they want to sneak in here and get a third. At least it's going to go over to JDG. So we'll have another split. Gets the TP out.
Okay. Flandre did get a base in, so we'll be on Ala to get a base and match that. We expect the Trinity Force out of Wukong top for sure. Option to go Titanic Hydra. We've seen that a little bit as well. You just get very tanky as the Kong, but I like the Triforce. I feel like Wukong with the resources, you can get a lot of work done. I think that's just going to be the right call early on. This looks to be where Ala's heading. Have some options with the Peyz. We shall stay tuned and see.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this kind of game. When I was saying earlier, you expect a lot of action in the first couple games, then for it to taper off and be a little bit more reserved in the later games. That's where I feel like we're settling now in a game number 4. AL feel like they're really in a good position with their compositional strength, and JDG maybe the ones that need to be a little bit more proactive. And so both teams playing very reserved in a situation that matters a lot. I mean, like we said so many times, and I'll say it again a million times probably, like, you don't want to go to lower bracket in the LPL playoffs.
Yeah,
you're in upper
BLG's
bracket
there.
right now, it's great. BLG is there. They are lurking like a titan underneath the water, and it is terrifying.
The mid laner that's won the last 4 LPL splits, yeah, he's on that team, and I wouldn't want to face him in the playoffs.
So you want to try to get your ticket now. And
Yeah.
Dragon is started up here from JDG's side of things. Tarzan is down here with Flandre, and the rest of the team is on their way down. JDG going to move first, though they have 4 bodies.
Scout
over
has
3.
no TP. They will have numbers here when
This
Triss
is
gets
tough.
here.
Yeah, I think JDG just realized that. You
gotta
see
give.
everybody in synchron to get out, as now Dragon taken over in priority by AL. I don't think JDG have any say in this game.
Shanks will have TP coming up to try and match top. Instead, it's just a wave kill top. But frankly, the 2 waves that we've seen given by anyone's legend, it's led to Grubs and led to Dragon. I'd say, I mean, we're not going to remember those waves here in about 5-10 minutes, right? So
True.
overall, I'd say pretty worth it here. To start off for anyone's legend. Good use of their triple TP setup, as they've been able to use them to catch up on waves that they've dropped. And those dropped waves have led to the first 2 objectives, so well played.
Dead even game here, but we are getting the level 6s for supports. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb used preemptively onto Peyz. Just get some poke damage down. Now that we're getting to level 6s for supports, Engager is going to have a little bit more say in this one. We're also getting closer and closer to those first item spikes as well. The thing about it, though, is a marksman comp in mid lane, especially with a Tristana, needs to have some items under it to really be efficient, especially even with the Ziggs, too.
And frankly, I'm surprised that Shanks is going for what I assume to be the Collector first. I thought this would just be, you know, the Kraken Slayer or the Yuntals into a pretty standard Trist build. This one, you won't get access to an attack speed item until third or fourth item, potentially. So that puts a lot of emphasis on when Trist pops the Q to get that attack speed steroid, because that's going to be where you're strong in the fight. When that's down, you're not going to be doing too much as the Trist. So we'll have to keep our eyes on Shanks, see if he plays that one out correctly. At the moment, we are watching the most entertaining player in the game, Tarzan, on the jungle Shen, hit his camps.
It's unfortunately support jungle Shen,
is.
so you know, yeah, exactly that. Shout out to Outbattery for throwing out a statistic for missing here as well, because if they're going to make a continuation in the series, you got to find something to make him do good, and he is on a 26-game in LPL win streak on Rakan, so trying to make it 27 or maybe a first loss, and I don't even know how long.
His Rakan is fantastic. More good news for JDG fans is that Peyz is a couple waves away from popping that coal and is leading the game in CS. So Peyz should be set up for success on the Zeri here as well.
Looking for more engages now. And oh, Shun finds the angle. They get the grand entrance. They get Hope down low, but the Shen ulti, that's huge. And Tarzan saves Hope's life.
Really big, too, on the Ziggs, because Hope gets to actually clear the next couple of waves. So this will leave the priority on the Grubs, and the Shen ult being used. That is a big tool that's burned off of anyone's legend, but you'll trade that for keeping your Ziggs alive and able to at least combat some push in the mid lane.
Oh, they got Peyz? Okay. Can't go any further with that one, but it was getting close to a taunt. The Grubs had already been started up by Shun. They will be able to get 4 total if they're left to their own devices here. That'll at least give them some more might spawn there, and JDG played pretty well. They're going to take that neutral objective.
Yeah, just advantage with the Zeri being mid, forcing out the Ziggs, and also Akali doing a nice job of trapping the Tristana top. So anyone's legend is just going to have to kind of eat it with that second Grub spawn. Nice.
Oh my god. So annoying.
It stopped both recalls. That's
it did. It's really annoying.
Yeah, Ziggs is back on the map, so opportunity for anyone's legend to do something first. If they keep on jailing the Zeri for the next couple of waves, then you could really have the option too where you aren't even able to contest the dragon. But yeah, I think Peyz should be able to reset after this wave.
I want to talk a little bit more about the destructive duo setup we were talking about in draft and how essential that is to anyone's legend's composition and how they're going to utilize that. I think we haven't seen them necessarily devote towards that just yet, but it's something you have to keep an eye on, especially because plates are falling. You're going to lose a little bit of that proactivity you can get with getting all that extra gold in your pocket. Still, first item already there for Hope as well.
Yeah, you still have the opportunity to, you know, be the demolitionist, but as you highlighted, you get less.
Kael's in some serious trouble here. He's going to try to go back across, but he is just locked down, CC'd. He's in the shroud. He gets the perfect execution out, and I doubted him, but he is out of there safely.
And we got Shanks' flash, too. So, and really not bad. Peyz is going to come down to cover. Tristana should be able to pick up CS left over, but in the end, if Scout's back out on the map to contest this dragon, they will have to wait for his ult timer. And I'd say taking Shanks' flash away, that's a win.
Hey, you'll take that all day, honestly. You did get first item there for Scout and before that fight, obviously, but being able to have that extra damage on the burst is what JDG are seemingly looking at now as well. There is the dragon up on the table. AL could look for another setup for that one. Take a look at the picture-in-picture there as the Vision game that initially started off all that stuff. And the Mega Inferno Bomb used just to stop Missing's back.
Dragon on the board. Control for JDG early on here, Mazel. I think the big thing for me Ava and Flandre do not have TPs up for this. And Flandre is the one that was stronger. We just had the Trinity Force completed from Ava too, but technically they're on even footing right now. This wouldn't be the case if anyone's Legends decided to drop this. But looks like they're going to try and take a fight.
Oh, missing goes in. Comes back to Peyz. Dragon is already gone. So AL just a little bit late to the transition. They do get a TP on top side coming up here. Trying to get a little bit of safety going through. Yeah, they got a 2v1 now. And they're standing united as now Shanks has made his way up. But a big cyclone from Ollie goes down to the explosive charge. They will get Shanks in mid-transition there in the sky as Hope is going down between them all. And Peyz trying to get the last auto attack. And it's going to be so. Peyz on the board with his first kill. And JDG and AL, they're just tussling on the Rift.
Big, though, from JDG. They get the Dragon and trade up a kill across the map. Big that Shanks didn't have flash for that skirmish. It was taken away in the last one. And Scout with the Storm Surge was able to find the Tristana, even being down numbers in the top side. So well played from Scout on JDG to make sure that that skirmish went their way up there. And then, of course, just catching Hope in transition, was looking to donate out R to the fight. Was taken down. Let's take another look. Ava goes in on Flandre.
That's crazy.
Out of the hook shot. It was the Stand United that came in afterwards with the Shen to at least try and follow up on everything. And from there, Scout, he TP'd in late, but the fact that he found Shanks immediately was the big difference in that replay. Oh, we're going again. All right, here we go. I didn't know if the feed was still going, if it was just at the front. Okay, there we go.
What's going on? Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, let me take a look at the back end of that one fight. And Lightning Crash going to secure the kill there. We're back on the map. We got to take stock of what's going on because Herald is up and available. JDG not one to slouch on these contests, but AL already starting it up, Cubby.
Stand United isn't up, though. That's a lot of power that's down for anyone's Legend in this fight. So I think they have to be really disciplined and holding and trying to get shit down from Hope. Kael, though,
ultra shock laser across, missing, gets an angle. Scout bound the flank. They've already lost one. Kael's gone. And JDG now, they're looking to even the score. They're looking to go to blows as Tarzan knocked back into the pit. Shun chasing him down. It looks like that piggy can run. And Sejuani looking damn good for the competition for JDG as Tarzan slowly but surely taken down to his paces. And it does mean that this buying of time gives Peyz, but oh god. The ultra shock laser will slow him down, and at least Peyz is getting the money.
Not sure how worth that stall was actually for Tarzan. Didn't have much to do on the map, but also wasn't getting anything for stalling out. Will be the Rift Herald that goes over to JDG, and a couple of these fights been rather convincing for JDG in this mid game. I think as you called out earlier, Mazel, if you're going to run double marksman comps or comps with this Trist mid, Shanks is just behind.
Yeah.
The Scout's gotten him a few times. And now they're going to try and set Scout behind, but the TP in the cover, that's going to dissuade the die from anyone's Legend. So JDG just went out on that trade.
Liel looking a little bit lost on the map right now. Shun will take that Herald there as well. Get a little bit closer to objective dominance. They already got the feats of strength as well. But they are cooking in this game. Number 4 is, speaking of, Flandre gets 3/4 of his health taken away.
Does take away the Wukong R, though. I think it's going to be up before Dragon, but it could look to trade on, at least make a play before the Dragon and take advantage of that ult being down. I'm just surprised that anyone's Legends have been fighting now. I think they need the wait to fight. Their comp, as time goes on, it is nice. Outside of this area, that is going to be a big problem in this game. And the Wukong that has some scaling aspects as well, but Camille with doubles sounds good. You get Trist 2-3 items. That sounds like the setup you want to me. And we also haven't seen them have the Hextech Ultimatum into Super Mega Inferno Bomb, because that will give them a pretty guaranteed execute onto the Zeri later on in this game. So I think that anyone's Legends has played this one a little bit too fast, especially that last Rift fight where they got punished pretty heavily.
I think it's so difficult in a situation like that where, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you're playing a Shen jungle. It's maybe not the most active threat in a lot of these situations. You're playing a lot of defensive style fights, especially with the supportive build. But I'm wondering now with this anti-demolition comp that JDG have, they're going to charge into 2 turrets in mid lane. the Mega Inferno Bomb to clear that Rift Herald.
Nice
That's
ult.
actually pretty big from Hope, as Dragon is on the horizon here. JDG trying to put the pressure on AL.
I wasn't expecting that to get the kill at 1400 health, but Hope able to take it down. Not sure if that was combo with the Tarzan smite, but regardless, I think it was worth the use of the ultimate. Now Tarzan gonna catch missing.
Okay. CC right back to you. Okay, nice little handshake there. Big thing is now, though, if you're looking at the map state with that objective maybe coming up here very shortly, 2 items is completed for Peyz. And Hope getting away. Nice satchel charge to get out of that one, but the lightning crash. Peyz, he's going too far. Peyz has gone over the limit, but maybe he's got that dance. He's got that line, and he's skirting it. He's still alive. Scout has TP'd. We've gotten multiple joins of the fight from JDG, and they tried to catch out Hope, but no avail.
JDG has to sprint and take this objective now, or else if anyone's legends are allowed to regroup and re-engage this, it could be a look for them. Peyz is down half his health and has no sum. So a Hextech ultimatum that comes down on this area would be indefensible for JDG. And anyone's legend knows this. They're starting to fish around, knows their way around this dragon that pushed them off. JDG started this, did not respect the tempo from anyone's legend.
Hope. He's got the Storm Surge, but he's got that Stand United. Still dies from the perfect execution. And now JDG have found the hole in the armor. They found the angle. Flandre is taking down Scout, though. Scout's going low. Scout's going down. That's a big quickness, though, with JDG. Peyz has been untouched this whole time, and he's got that lightning, baby, as JDG push AL back, and they will end up having a little bit of control over the jungle afterwards.
Dragon for a kill in the end, actually not that bad. It was a great trap laid by Scout. As anyone's legends sneak out, I'd say, okay, they're going to lose the inner.
Oh my God.
Still, it's not terrible. Down 5k gold, they still need time to get into this game, get their comp fully online. This Tristana especially falling very far behind. And while this has been the case, Scout has been the one doing most of the work and most of the laying down all the punishment from JDG on the map. It's a great trap onto Hope. And even through Stand United, Hope sidesteps that Q. It just didn't matter. Too much damage was put down by the Akali early on in the fight. Bought time, did go up, ended up dying at the end, but Scout did buy a lot of time, a lot of space to try and get back to his team. Good engage here by Missing, who I know hasn't had his best series, but was able to at least make sure that the rest of the fight went JDG's way. As they do trade up a man, they trade for the inner turret. They did lose the dragon, but in the end, I think both teams kind of okay with how that ended up shaking out.
And this game feels like a legacy game potentially for Peyz in a situation where they could get knocked down a lower bracket, unknowing of what can happen down there when there's so many tough teams to deal with. Peyz is the one that's set up for success. He's almost on 3 items on this Zeri. You have so much influence from Scout to take the eyes off of Peyz. And yet another 80 carry that has come into the system of JDG and found success.
Top inner falling too. That's a lot of gold that's going JDG's way. And if Flandre doesn't feel confident enough to actually chase the Wukong. Dragon is a pretty long way away. Of course, we do have Onacondo on the bot side of the Rift, so that's why a lot of our focus is here right now between both of our teams.
I'll make sure there can't be any shenaniganery coming through here, but I will say, looking back at initial styles for these two compositions, AL haven't really been able to use their demolitionist nature just yet. They're just trying to fan the flames to get further on, to get those 3 items. As it's going to be the rocket jump and the Stand United used. AL, they just used a ton of tools.
Oh, that's a huge miss.
Misses the flash play. And that's going to be a 3-man knockup from Missing. He heard you talking that ish, and he is just going for it. As now Scout is looking for the perfect execution under the carries. He can't find the damage, though. Storm Surge not going to be enough, but he's still hunting. He's still praying. And Hope is not going to have any of his namesake left as he gets taken down.
Kael also being hunted by Missing. It was a fantastic start to the fight from JDG, and Missing the grand entrance was really the end of the fight for anyone's legend, who ended the fight themselves by coming up short with all their engaged tools on the Sunless Peyz.
That was tough. We're going to get some slow-mos of that one.
Yeah.
Multiple engages going wide. It feels like the air has left the room for anyone's legend. And JDG will continue this dominant streak in game number 4 to finally potentially look to give us another silver scrapes. I mean, our playoffs have not had any silver scrapes really besides one. So the fact that we're potentially on the verge of that as Adicon goes down, JDG sitting pretty.
I don't mind this look from anyone's legend. Again, Peyz is somewhat. He has no cleanse, no flash, but how do we come up this close? Or I should say this far. Flandre was trying to hide himself in vision, but we aren't even close to finding Peyz with either of these attempts from him and Tarzan. Just end up looking silly thanks to missing on the back half with everyone with the charm. Again, anyone's legend, when you are a comp that needs to scale, you can take fights, but some of the fights we've seen them take, it's been a little bit unadvised, and that really helps you fall further and further behind early on. And some of the power curves this game, like Peyz and Scout, have been really ramped forward thanks to some of the mistakes we've seen anyone legends make.
How everything comes down in this game and all the stress that this upper bracket has, even with that second life, it doesn't matter. I mean, the thing is, Scout might just lose his Adicon GA here real fast. Oh, he's going to go golden. He's going to get TP in. He wants to fight. Okay, I see you, big dog. Going to push them off there because they had Peyz and Missing rounding out the corner there to try to find something. They still have these Adicon GAs. They're still looking to push the pressure here. But I said at the beginning of the day, you know, these drafts mean so much. And JDG piloting theirs beautifully. They're surrounding them as Missing going for the big play, but Magnet Storm stops him in his tracks. Lightning crash on multiple members here, but look at Shanks. He's trying to get in there. He's locked down. He gets the nice shield. He's out of there as well. Shun tries to get one, but gets Kael instead of Hope. And now the rest of the team comes back down to TP bot lane, and JDG will be rebuffed.
I think you'll take that. You only drop Kael and manage to get some Adicons off. Might be able to pick up the top outer turret as well in the back half. Dragon probably not contestable anyway. And it's only the second Drake here for JDG, as Flandre might be the target for Scout.
A little scary. By the way, a little bit of history there. Won a world championship together, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, a little bit of long-term storytelling there, but hey, they just said hi to each other. No big deal. Scout, though, I got to give some props to. Peyz, I got to give some props to. JDG, in these games that they've looked dominant, they look damn dominant. And it's just such a question mark of what happens in those other games, what happens in those in between. Because Peyz has had a hell of a split for his first time in the LPL situation in the environment.
I mean, this game, too, Peyz is doing his best ruler impression, playing the Zeri and being this far ahead in terms of gold and CS.
It's a 4K lead over Hope.
Again, Peyz, like, when push has come to shove on this team, and we have seen JDG be a little bit shaky, it has been Ala and Peyz who have been the real solid, consistent members. And it's been nice to see Peyz, especially in this game, been fed a lot of resources and been making good use of them so far. We'll see if that can continue, because this Zeri will be breaking the comp of anyone's legends. Again, if the engage doesn't come down, you have tools to deal with Zeri. You have the Hextech ultimatum, the Rel, and then the Shen stand united to get you in the back there too. You have ways that you can actually lock down the most fed member and try and take him off the board. We'll just have to see if they can do so consistently in this one.
It just feels so hard to deal with any of the pressures of JDG. If JDG decide they want something, they will get it. And you're going to have to fight tooth and nail to wrestle it from them. Tarzan just going to blindly walk into the jungle. He's looking to just try to get in the pit potentially, try to get a steal, try to look for something, some breath of life. Maybe a little bit of hope for anyone's legend, but they will not find it here. They're going to maybe look for a play out of Olive. They're getting surrounded by Scout. I mean, they're giving, and they're also losing pressure in their jungle. They will end up getting some side lane pressure with Flandre, though. So Mega Inferno Bomb comes out a little bit late. There's the back initiated by Flandre, so they won't be able to get much more from that. And Peyz going to complete yet another item with his Bloodthirster.
Is quite a respectful give there.
You don't say, huh?
I just don't know like how much game time is going to be left after this Baron, which is why I was kind of down for a potential flip. The tools, I guess they're just waiting for more tools to try and deal with Peyz. I will say an LDR or a pen item coming out of the Tristana will matter a lot this game, given just how tanky the Kong and the Sejuani get. But it's looking tough here for anyone's Legends, kind of running out of time. As this Zeri and this potential death cap that's going to be on Scout, that might be just enough for JDG to spell doom and get us into that 1v1 for Game 5 side select.
The comp and draft looks so good. I lauded it. I said, oh, they have a clear strategy. They have something that works for them. AL have not been able to do much with the demolition comp, and it's been JDG demolishing anyone's Legend in this game number 4. I said I heard those sweet, sweet silver scrapes on the horizon, and I'm starting to hear it get a little bit closer now. JDG on the push. This Baron buff in tow for another minute and 35 seconds. They're looking at duo lane pushing in this mid lane and bot. Peyz waiting for another wave. Gonna push this one up a little bit more, and they have Tarzan right there willing to go with the taunt if they can catch the right member, but AL's defense is not very strong as now they get engaged on a little bit there. Alla goes a little bit too ham.
Wait, that's
and
on
now
the
they
clone.
lose a little bit of front from that clone, and that's a lot used from AL on that. Now Tarzan just walked forward and almost
Goodbye.
dies, and Scout is looking to blow up Shanks as the quickness comes through with the grand entrance combo. Mystic still alive, and they try to get Peyz. Peyz is in the middle of everybody. Peyz is sitting them down and shutting them up one by one with a quadra kill.
When he flashed over, that's the window to see if anyone's Legend can punish. No punish to be had. Game 5 it is as Peyz and JDG take it home.
The new transfer from Gen G, all the hopes and dreams of this JDG team relying on this guy, this prodigy that was one of the best in the LCK, coming to deliver in a must-win Game 4 for JDG. You'll love to see that, and Peyz is firing on all cylinders.
He's been clutch, man. Going back to like that Game 5 against Weibo too. Big difference, some big late game team fights from Peyz. He's been solid. That flash forward, it was warranted. He got away with it. And again, I feel like anyone's Legends, they had tools to actually deal with the Zeri. They just were never able to put them together that game. And that was the big difference maker.
That was an insane game. And silver scrapes, baby. Second time in our playoffs so far. There has not been enough silver scrapes, but we get it. We're going all the way to 5 games in our upper bracket, and I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. If we could bring up the prediction graphic here, Kai, I knew it was coming. But the fact of the matter is, I think this on paper was one of the closest matchups we could possibly have in our playoffs, and it is absolutely delivering.
It was, and I will say that JDG, it feels like they just keep on getting incrementally better from the series that we've seen. I'm not as confident in that today, but we are getting the results they need, especially if they can take home this Game 5. I still think that the big key, can Shun and Missing sync up? Looking at the champs they have, like Sejuani versus Jungle Shen, much higher tier, higher priority pick there. And then Missing on his Rakan that's now won 27 LPL games in a row.
That's insane.
Pretty huge for Missing in JDG. Of course, in Fearless, those picks are off the board.
You can only do it once.
Frankly, anyone's Legends, to me, again, I feel like they've looked like the stronger team today. So we'll see if JDG can overcome them again in Game 5. But it has been a pretty entertaining series. And that side select 1v1 actually might be really important. So
yeah,
we'll have to see.
So if you didn't know, now that we've made it to game number 5 in the playoffs, before Game 5 starts, we have a 1v1 for side selection. And honestly, I think it matters a lot to win that 1v1.
Yeah, blue side matters, yeah.
Especially with all the picks that are already taken off the table, you want to have that blue side. So it's going to be very, very interesting how that plays out as well. But what a resurgence from JDG. Like you said, they're waking up. Even with compositions for AL that seem easy to execute on paper, sometimes we're seeing that faltering and question marks being bubbled to the surface there for them too.
I mean, you have a fight that you can execute. I don't think it's the easiest to execute that one into this area. And also getting through like Sejuani, Wukong, Rakan, that's not an easy ask. I don't think that they have the health bars to do so, even if you can find a fight execute on this area. But yeah, I think Scout was the big difference maker for me in that one. I hope that Scout actually brings home the player of the game.
Really?
Yeah, I think that at least dodging out of the solo kill from Shanks was big. Yeah, I mean, Peyz just farmed up and kind of hit economic victory. For me, Scout was the person who actually made the plays to get them to that spot and bought a lot of time for Peyz in the map. So, yeah, I actually think it should be Scout, even if he should have gotten first blooded.
Yeah, he definitely should have. Take a look at the stats from that one. Definitely not the same kind of one-sided way of stats in terms of the last game, but here we have a very solid performance from JDG in a composition that had these question marks. Like you said, should have been dead at this level 1. Does that, or level 3, does that make a difference in the totality of the game? We'll never know. But Silver Scrapes
I think it made a difference, all right.
nonetheless.
Yeah.
Do you really think that that's the pivotal moment in the entire game?
I mean, it's a big one.
There's no way.
It doesn't allow for Scout to do stuff like this. And again, this is why I think Scout should be player of the game, because he bought all the time for Peyz to then hit the economic victory later on as Zeri. He's the one that's making all the plays here. And Scout on this Akali, and Scout's always been a very strong player on the melees. Akali, no different. Good to see Scout really show up and have a big game in this one. And also missing, we know Missing's Rakan is very, very good. But it was good to see Missing play,
yeah,
you know, much closer to his championship form than whatever form we've been seeing so far in this split of LPL.
Yeah, it was nice to see a return to form, at least in that regard. And a couple really big grand entrance quickness combos for him to set up the team. Peyz stepping forward. This one was insane. My man is in a 1v4 to start that one off. Still comes away with the win. Still comes away with the quadra kill. And what a game it was. Now, like you were saying, probably expect Peyz to win it. Maybe Scout. I think that maybe there's some split decision making in that regard. But I also want to start previewing and talking a little bit about what the hell we have left going into Game 5. I mean, there's going to be a ton off the table here for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think ADs, we've seen Caitlyn played by Peyz, backs up against the wall. That's definitely narrowed up a lot. Xayah is still available, but no more Rakan. I think Xayah is limited as a champ. We have seen Xayah emerge. And then mid lane's pretty open. You still have a lot of control mages that are on the board. I think that support's the one where we really have to look at what's being narrowed, because we could see easily a Blitzcrank, a Thrasher, a Lulu come through this game.
Elise, Pike.
Yeah, Elise I think playable too, even though we don't like it. You're very
I don't
limited.
want to see Elise, please. I don't want to see it. Nope, I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of questions left to the Fearless system in this last game, especially because we haven't gotten to see many Game 5s, like we were saying. One best of 5 going the distance so far in the playoffs, at least. We've had best of 5s all season long, but in the playoffs, it just hits a little bit different. Here in the upper bracket, it definitely does. Again, both teams 1 win away